How in tune are you with your nervous system? Do you know that there is a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system? That there's one controlled by the left hemisphere of your brain and one controlled by the right hemisphere of your brain, and that they are typically referred to as the fight or flight, which I've learned there's now a fawn, fight or flight, and the other one is your feed and breed is what I refer to it as. There's other ways of describing it, but basically one, when you're in fight or flight, fawn, fight or flight, you are ready to react at an instant, right? And it's a very reactive space to be in, and your breath is shortened and your body's ready to respond. And often, like, it's a fear response, and that puts you into fight or flight. You know, it's not good. You can't learn when you're in that space because, you know, a different part of your brain is being activated when you're in that nervous system. But when you are relaxed, your breathing deepens. You know, you can rest, you can feel safe. And I think that's the biggest component of what I woke up to last night in this incredible epiphany, this incredible understanding about how our nervous system really plays an incredible role in our day-to-day functioning. And so with that in mind, I had this realization, and I'm sure some of you have heard me talk about the soul selves framework before, and how it is sort of a continuum of, you know, the ego to the soul. And it totally dawned on me that this ego soul continuum is our nervous system. So, you know, if you're not someone who looks at things from a spiritual perspective, then, you know, this nervous system perspective might resonate with you, and it's really quite amazing that, like, when we're rooted in our ego, so often we're in that fear mentality, we're in that victim mentality, and we are in our fight or flight, like our sympathetic nervous system more of the time, right? When we're in our ego, we are in that fight or flight nervous system. But when we're in our soul, we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, and we are calmer and relaxed and we feel safe. And so if you can identify at any given moment whether you're in your parasympathetic nervous system or your sympathetic nervous system, it is going to give you so much power over how your day-to-day life evolves. And just having that awareness is going to it's such a huge fundamental piece moving forward in terms of our success. And so how do we figure this out? What nervous system we are? It's truly a matter of bringing awareness to our understanding of our nervous system and our feelings of it. And I'm so excited to explore all of this with you in the next little while. I'm completely devoted to figuring it out and shifting how we go from one to the other. When we're in fight or flight, how do we shift into feed and breed? Because having that awareness is just going to be so monumental in terms of our growth and our expansion and our peace of mind and our mindfulness. All of this, it all fits together. It's so interesting looking back how all of these pieces have been pointing me in this direction for such a long time. And it all came together last night when I was half asleep, and there was this monumental healing that took place within my body to be able to step out of this discomfort that I had been feeling and move into this safe place. One of the greatest learnings is that we are in control of our nervous system all the time at any given time. And so we have the power to determine which nervous system is active in the moment. Often when we're shocked into, or scared into, or surprised into our fight or flight nervous system, our body sort of takes over. It's an autonomic response that we have. But we can recognize that when we have the awareness to check in with our bodies to figure out where we're at, then we have the ability to shift it back into, into the parasympathetic nervous system and be more relaxed. So there is so much we have to learn about this, and I'm so excited about the potential. And so I hope that this gives you some insight as to what can come next. I'm going to give you one example in terms of the learning that really shifted for me last night in my semi-conscious state, and it was in relation to money and abundance. And it really occurred to me that I am in fight or flight when I spend money. I'm in fight or flight when I make money. I'm in fight or flight when I think about money. And so if I'm able to know that when I'm doing it, I can then shift out of fight or flight into a more safe, calm, relaxed nervous system before I spend money, before I make money. And that is going to completely change my dynamic and my relationship with abundance and lack. And so knowing when I am in fight or flight, I can then take that power back and put myself into a calm and comfortable state. And everything, I think, is going to change. So I want you to think about that in terms of other aspects of your life. I think often there's people that have experienced trauma, or maybe we're carrying traumas with us from our ancestors, from our parents, and it's in our lineage, and we don't even acknowledge that these are things that we're carrying with us. They're more patterns of behavior that we're used to, and that in a not ironic, but there's this illusion of safety that we feel with the beliefs that we have. And when we're able to actually tune into our bodies and realize that that sense of safety is it's not safety, it's actually just sort of like an ego protective layer in a story that we tell ourselves, and that our bodies are physically reacting in a fight or flight response, then we can start breaking free of these habits and breaking free of these patterns and change the stories that we're telling ourselves and experience things in a more joyful, calm, and safe, amazing place. And it's just the trajectory is gonna be just incredible and so powerful as we move into that safe space and create just an incredible reality that is very possible. Love you all so much. Thanks for listening. Bye.